Y'all ready to get whimsical? Hi, can I sit with you? So in my most recent perusal of my personal style Pinterest board, which if you're curious what it looks like, it's largely a lot of blue and gold and medieval fantasy, I, sat there going through it, realized I do not have a lot of wearable merch of some of my favorite medieval fantasy things. So the goal today is to fix that. I'm very specifically going to be making something Dragon Age and something Song of Ice and Fire themed. And when I say Song of Ice and Fire, I specifically mean A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms because Sir Duncan the Tall, what can I say, but okay, so let's talk design really quickly. For the Grey Warden bodice, I wanted to do this, I guess almost Tudor style bodice using my quilted fabric that I'd used in my Grey Warden cosplay, as well as a type of knit stitch that looks like chainmail. Then I would just paint or embroider a griffin on the front. Then for the Sir Duncan tunic, what I wanted to do was do this tunic style vest based off of one I'd seen on Pinterest, and on the back it would have his shield with the elm tree and the shooting star, and I kind of wanted to give it a little bit of a historical heraldry vibe, but we will have to see where I go from there. Welcome to under my desk. The lighting is bad and I'm not going to do anything about it. So I already know what pattern I want to be using for the Dragon Age top, which is very handily in the front here because I just cut it out yesterday. But it's this one, very specifically these sleeves. All the tops are kind of the same, but I think either these sleeves or these sleeves, it's going to depend on how much of the quilted fabric I have left over. And that leads us to me, we have to get into the fabric stash. Just a heads up, my closet's really bad. just preparing you. Y'all ready? Oh, I can't even open the door all the way. Welcome to the pit of despair. Hi. Here is the quilted fabric. This will be for the sides and the sleeves. We'll see. I already knew I needed that. I have this bin here. Maybe I'll just bring that out to the room, as well as this bag. Ooh. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here, man. I got the bin here. Let's just agree to never speak about that closet ever again, okay? I try to be a good upstairs neighbor and not do that to my downstairs neighbors. Let's see. Not any of this. I feel like I have something. I can see it in my mind's eye. I'm very certain I have this still. Yes! This! I just need it for the front. So I think this should be enough for the Grey Warden top. Alright, so here's what we got. For the dunk vest, I found this beige muslin. And for his crest, I have this orange fabric. It might be too bright for this. I have some other options that I'll weigh before I decide exactly what I'm going to make the crest that's going to go on the back out of. And then for the Grey Warden top, I have my quilted fabric, which will definitely be enough for the sides. I don't know about the sleeves yet, so we'll see. And this kind of slinky gray silvery fabric for the front, and it's rolled away. Some leftover gray yarn from my chainmail sweater, which should be more than enough for the back part that's just meant to be stretchy. So let's just get into it. With that, I turned on How to Train Your Dragon 2, which turned out to be a bit of a mistake. Oh my god. And got to cutting things out. For the Sir Duncan vest, I actually used a pattern I'd made myself and used on a few different projects in the past, and did a bit of altering it in the way of making it a couple inches longer. Then it came to assembly, which was mostly just a lot of finishing the edges, trimming, pressing, finishing, more zigzag stitches. You get it. And once I had everything basically together, I decided to call it a day. Ugh. Good morning, my turtle doves. On the docket for today, we're gonna do some more fun stuff. Less sewing. Not that sewing isn't fun. I swear I like sewing. We're gonna just be doing the decorative elements essentially. We're gonna do the griffin for the Grey Warden top, and we're gonna do Dunk's shield, which I have an idea about how I'm gonna do. So let's get into it. Welcome to the floor. Let me show you what I think I'm gonna do for Sir Duncan's shield. Hi, do you wanna get in bed, perhaps? Okay, he's gonna be in my face. I think to get the sunset colors, I'm gonna do kind of like a patchwork thing. So I have this dark purple fabric that I'll have a panel of at the top, and then this lighter purple. I think I actually have a more magenta now that I'm thinking about it, so I might go grab some of that instead. And then for the bottom, I have this nice, I guess it's more of like a burnt orange, but basically bottom, middle, top, make strips of them, sew them together, maybe do like a crazy quilt type vibe in between them. I love whenever there's like the interesting stitches. We'll see what happens. I actually finished reading The Tales of Dunk and Egg last night, or A Night at the Seven Kingdoms, whatever you want to call it. And I gotta say, Dunk quickly moving up in the ranks of my favorite Song of Ice and Fire boy. Sorry, Jon Snow. Once everything was sewn together, I grabbed the tunic to get the shoulder-to-shoulder width to get an idea of how big the shield should be. I then engaged in ye olde ritual of measure 80 times and then very apprehensively cut everything out. Once the shield shape was formed, it was then finally time to add the pretty decorative stitching. Now for the design on the shield, I made a graphic of the elm tree and the shooting star on Procreate, and then transferred it to the fabric by just laying the fabric on my iPad with the brightness up all the way, and just very slowly tracing it on with a heat erase pen. And then for the painting, I just used Poscas and whatever acrylics I happened to have on hand, not really minding if it was like fabric safe. It wasn't big enough of a design for me to really be worried about that. I truly got so absorbed into this part that I kind of forgot I was supposed to be working on another project, so I quickly whipped up a lining for the front piece of the Grey Warden bodice. Let me show you where I'm at before I lose all sunlight, because daylight savings started today, which means it gets dark at 5. Here we've got the Dunk vest. I made a lining. I have not yet attached it, but hey Barney. I think that was a good call. I was kind of just trying to decide whether I wanted to do that or not. With the green, it's kind of giving Shrek, and also the Life and Adventures of Santa Claus. here is the shield so far. We got the leaves painted. I'm probably gonna spend the rest of the night on this, but I love it so far. This is gonna look so freaking dope when it's done. I honestly didn't make that much progress on the Grey Warden top today, but I do think I'm gonna unstitch these sides because I was looking at it and it just doesn't look like it's kind of snug, and we don't want that. I'll either just add extra fabric here, maybe more of that silver fabric, or I'll do like the knitting idea that I have for the back. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna get back to painting this, and then I will see you guys very soon. Wait for my sister to leave for work, because I get bashful when I film. Good morning. We are in the home stretch, so on the docket for today, first of all, I guess I could show. Look at it. Isn't it so pretty? I'm gonna finish up this guy. I'm gonna add some outlines to it, add a little border around it, sew it onto the tunic. And I actually haven't worked on this at all. I initially was going to embroider the griffin on there, which is crazy of me, honestly. In retrospect, is an insane move to even consider, because this is the only silver embroidery floss I have, and yeah, that was not going to be visible. So I think instead I'm going to just paint it with Poscas like I did the tree, and then maybe add embroidery floss to like embellish and give it more dimension. And then besides that, I have to just finish the main pieces, and then it is knitting, and then that's it. So I think I can do all of this in one day. We'll see what happens. It took multiple layers of paint to get the effect that I wanted, so in between each one I worked on my Sir Duncan shield, which came with its own set of problems. I made an oopsie, but I covered it with pink Posca, so hopefully it's okay. When I tell you, I tried so many different ways to do this outline until I thought I'd gotten rid of it, but I found my black Posca pen, and wouldn't you know, after finding that, it got way easier. Back on the Grey Warden side of things, the painting had finished drying, so I added some bias tape. Speaking of bias tape, I also decided to add bias tape to the edges of my vest. And to encourage me along, I watched some Game of Thrones lore videos. It was around this point in time that I was truly starting to lose steam on the whole project. So I lay down on the floor and whined about how much I very much did not want to. I very much do not want to. But I'd already said I was in the home stretch. So I got up and I continued. Okay, it's time to speedrun the rest of this. I pinned down the shield and hand sewed it off screen. This was all I had left on the vest, so that was done. I attached the front piece of the bodice and also made a back piece for some reason that I can't remember because I filmed this in November and I didn't take notes. I made the insane choice to hand sew all the hems on this so that it took even longer, but it does look nicer. So once all that was done, I tried the bodice on and took a long look in the mirror before deciding that I hated it, and removed the front and jumped straight to the knitting. To knit straight onto the fabric, I started by making pilot holes with my awl. This made it easier to push my yarn needle through to make a whip stitch on the edge of the fabric. And then I put those loops onto knitting needles. I used straight needles at first before getting extremely annoyed and switched to cables. I then worked in garter stitch until it was about 2 or 3 inches, bound off, and sewed it on to the inside of the hemmed edge of the fabric. And Bob's your uncle, or Tegan's your uncle. God, this video is reference heavy. I then pinned the front pieces in place before hand sewing them down, and now it's time for the reveal. It was very risky because I still had my hair swords in, and I've actually already broken one of them, so I should be more careful. Wrap up time. What I liked, what I did not like, what I would improve upon in the future. I'll be honest, I don't know how much I see myself wearing this top, which is a shame because I love the griffin that I drew. It just fits kind of weirdly, very loose and awkward. The sleeves are still not great, so I might end up doing my initial plan and taking the back out and adding knitting there, but I also might not. It also might just sit in my closet forever. Only time will tell. This, on the other hand, I'm gonna be wearing this. This will get worn. Can we have a little commotion for the couching seam? Just a little commotion for the couching. Look at that. Perfect little layering piece. I don't know how I feel about this kind of like, this almost Seto Kaiba shape that's happening at the hips, which is something I should have anticipated, but I didn't. So I might add a vent in the back in the future. I don't know if that would help fix it. People who know more about that sort of thing, would that fix it? It's also, I mean, also, like I said, I'm going to be wearing this. This is cute. This is cute. The painting is good. We stand Sir Duncan in this class. So, but overall, I'm proud of myself for doing 2 projects, even though I had to scrap the sleeves on this one. And I'm proud of myself for stopping when I wasn't super happy with this. I'm still not incredibly happy with it, but I'll figure it out at some point. It's fine. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this and you want to see more, you should subscribe and check out my other videos. If you'd like to help me in the algorithm, feel free to comment and like. Tell me what you think about griffins. Yeah, your thoughts on griffins. You thought I was going to ask about your favorite something? No, I want to know your thoughts on griffins. I think they're great and possibly the best. I think they're actually the best. Feel free to check out my Ko-Fi. Nothing there is behind a paywall. So you can just look at it, and if you think you like what I do, you can give me 50 cents if you want. And I will use it to buy a stick of gum. On one last note, my next video will probably not be till January. I have cosplays to make, Christmas gifts to knit, and I just restarted my Animal Crossing island. I'm swamped. But until then, I love you, have a happy holidays, and go pet a dog. It's one of the best things. Bye.